Measles cases in the United States just hit their highest point in over 3 decades. In 2025 alone, the US logged 2,289 confirmed cases. This year, as of late July 2026, there were more than 2,300 confirmed cases, with major outbreaks tearing through South Carolina, Utah, and Arizona. Many public health officials have described it as a public health failure. A common explanation is that fewer kids are vaccinated, so the virus finally found room to spread again. But there is a greater danger in the infections. Getting measles can quietly erase things your body already knew. Think about what immune memory actually is for a second. Every time you fight off a cold, a stomach bug, even a vaccine, your immune system keeps a tiny library of soldiers trained specifically for that threat. Scientists call these memory B cells. They sit in your blood for years. When they see that exact invader again, they spring into action, multiplying and turning into antibody factories within days. The antibody produced is the whole reason you don't get chickenpox twice. So, what happens when a virus shows up that breaks into the library itself? In 2019, a researcher from Harvard University ran an experiment that helps explain why measles can have consequences long after the rash disappears. His team drew blood from 77 children before and after they caught measles naturally, then used a tool that can scan for antibodies against hundreds of different pathogens at once. What they found was staggering. Depending on the child, measles wiped out somewhere between 11 and 73% of the diversity of their pre-existing antibody repertoire. These are defenses against infections they had previously encountered. Why would a virus do that? A team including researchers from the Wellcome Sanger Institute sequenced the actual B-cell receptors circulating in children's blood before and after infection. Measles specifically hunts down and depletes many of the memory cells built from years of past infections, then leaves behind a batch of new, immature cells that haven't learned anything yet. Measles has effectively burnt down whole shelves of that immune library, helping explain the dramatic loss in antibody repertoire seen in the earlier study. This deleterious effect of measles includes antibodies built from vaccine shots. Researchers from UCLA studying children in the Democratic Republic of Congo found an association that is remarkably concrete. Kids who had already been vaccinated against tetanus, then later caught measles, were 79% less likely to have protective antibody levels against tetanus compared to kids who never had measles. Measles can partially erase immune protection that earlier vaccination had built. Doesn't that change how you think about a childhood illness? Moving past diagnosis, in a 2025 study out of Johns Hopkins, researchers tested whether an existing antiviral drug called remdesivir, given early enough after infection, could interrupt this process before the damage set in. They found that macaques treated early kept more of their pre-existing antibody defenses intact compared to those left untreated, though the treatment also blunted their immune response to measles itself. This study suggested immune amnesia might be reduced if measles viral replication is stopped very early. Back to the modern mirror, this outbreak is happening because childhood vaccination rates have slipped just enough to open the door back up. Nationally, MMR coverage among kindergartners has dropped to about 92.5%, below the 95% threshold health experts say is needed to keep measles from spreading through a community. That gap left roughly 286,000 kindergartners without complete protection last school year alone. The MMR vaccine, as found by the Harvard team, protects the antibody repertoire. Every unvaccinated child who catches measles is risking a partially reset immune memory and becomes vulnerable again to things their body had already beaten once. So the next time you see another headline about measles cases hitting a record high, remember that every case could mean more than one infection. It could also mean a child quietly losing immune defenses against diseases they had already beaten.